Cloud companies and big tech momentum plays under pressure yesterday. Let's check in with one company that has been continuing to show growth on the top line. Joining us is the Chief Executive Officer of Talend, Christal Bemont, is back on the show. Christal, great to have you here again. Thanks for joining us after your guys' report. And I want to start just with the top line here. You're still growing. It looks like at a similar clip that you have been over the past year. So walk me through the quarter.
Sure. We had an amazing quarter. Very proud of the team, especially in light of COVID and all of the uncertainty. We continue to navigate extremely well. We are really looking at the most important growth indicator is our cloud number, which probably won't surprise you in terms of all the digital transformation. 113% year-over-year growth, and total ARR 20% year-over-year growth. So this is another great quarter and 3 consecutive for this year.
Annual recurring revenue, ARR, as you mentioned, a lot of companies within your category prioritize this figure. And now, is this at a rate that is accelerating going forward? Have you seen the way COVID has worked? Is it obvious the way it's impacting your business, or is this a steady and sustainable rate?
You know, we're very pleased with the quarter, and really we look at the cloud, which is a big pivot for us to put what we would see the majority of our business coming through in cloud. It's a underpinnings of digital transformation. Really, if you look at, I think in 10 months, we've had 10 years of advancement across the industry, and really all of our customers, and I think the general market, you start to see where digital is no longer just an opportunity. It's now an obligation to move to the cloud. So we're really seeing strong cloud growth, and ARR is trending right where we would expect it to trend.
Does that mean new clients as that timeline gets pushed forward? Are you seeing new companies or businesses that you hadn't had a relationship with before that do want your software and ability now?
Yeah, very much so. You know, we're starting to see where it's, an obligation for companies to try to find a way to show up, really, in some cases, quite frankly, to stay in business, in some cases to stay competitive. And it really is looking at meeting their customers where they're at, and that means finding new ways of doing business and really being able to see around the corner. And that's where we come into play to make sure that we can help enable that. And it's been a resurgence, if you will, with COVID. I think if there's a bright spot in COVID is the fact that we've had such an acceleration of advancement in things, quite frankly, that have needed to happen in the market for quite some time.
Right now, with new clients coming on, how does your capacity and the team's capacity to fill that need affect expenses or spending? Do you expect to have hiring? Because still on the bottom line, on a GAAP basis, Talend's operating at a loss still. Is that a priority to change that around, or is the priority here to make sure you can keep growing that top line?
Well, look, we will absolutely continue to focus on both top line and bottom line. We beat consensus on bottom line. We've been extremely deliberate in where we've placed our strategic investments, and we will continue to do so. And we really see the opportunity in front of us as being a strong one that will continue to surge for the quarters to come. So from our standpoint, we've made very thoughtful and strategic investments. We are, from a capacity standpoint, Oliver, to your point, have an amazing team on our professional services team, and we have amazing partners around the globe that help us make sure that our customers really realize value as quickly as possible. But we will continue to invest in this business for sure. Okay,
it seems that as far as the street goes, the response to the earnings, it's been stable. The share is stable. We've seen a lot of profit taking in the sector that Talend is in within cloud. We've seen a lot more volatility than what we've got over in your guys' stock the last couple of days. I'm curious going forward, Christal, what you will do to continue carving out the specific niche within Talend relative to other companies in the realm of data. Our viewers know companies like Splunk, these giants that have been partnering with other giants. How do you stay nimble, and do you compete with some of the bigger ones?
Yeah, it's a really interesting space, and I think the focus has primarily been on helping people move data and manage data. And quite frankly, I think we're almost contributing to a digital landfill, if you will. If you think about the fact that there is such a big surge to move things to cloud and to make sure that people are nimble and able to meet our customers where they're at, On the other side of that, I think you're left with a number of things that there's quite a few gaps and questions around in terms of the health of that data and the ability to really measure and quantify the health and the trust of that data. And so we're focusing on how do we bring value, not in just the efficiencies and effectiveness of moving data, but we're really starting to focus on the other side of that equation to say there's more to just moving the data, and there is a big problem if we're not careful, I believe, in the fact that we end up with, if you think about emails as a great example, digitizing emails doesn't mean that that's actually helps you do business better. That means that I have 4,000 emails to read, and I have risk and opportunity that's buried inside those emails. We are focusing ourselves on making sure that we help solve that problem, as well as making sure that people can move to the cloud and digitize their business. So look, I think there's a lot of baseline here that needs to be focused on relative to health of data and making sure that people can really trust what they're putting in the cloud.
Okay, right now it seems there's plenty of demand for it. As growth continues, shares down 1.5% today after the report, but the whole cloud space is down 4% right now. Christal, thanks for joining us. Good to catch up.
Thanks, Oliver. Good to see you.
Thank you. Christal Bemont is the CEO at Talend. TLND is the ticker.